And oh, this is a very, 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 very fast probe, JoRoSaR.
Oh, it is a very fast probe indeed.
Quick, introduce the players. Go. Introduce.
All right. In the top left position, ladies and gentlemen, in the red colors representing ENCE, we have none other than the winner of game number 1. It's going to be ELFI, who is sending a probe very quickly into the natural expansion of the blue Protoss player in the bottom right, who plays for FNATIC Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, it is none other than the Troll Toss himself, NightEnD.
There's about to be gates in your base.
There's a base in your base. Oh, it's happening. Okay. So this explains
who this happened to last time. Was it Huck? I want to say Huck.
Huck Naniwa?
I really want to say Huck Naniwa, which the last time I saw this. Probably the funniest time I've seen a base in your base.
Well, gateways come down at exactly the same time.
He's seen it!
But, oh, dear. He's seen it, and now he says, well, what are you going to do about it? Okay, now this is either going to be a masterclass at defending against a Proxy 2 gate, or it's going to be a slow, inevitable demise. Which is it going to be, Metals?
Well, the advantage for ELFI, obviously, is he's got 2 gates compared to the 1 at the moment of NightEnD. NightEnD not panicking, though. He's just trying to get down the gas and play it pretty cool. ELFI just trying to be a little bit infuriating. Second pylon now on its way for NightEnD there. ELFI pulling back. The gateways are very similarly timed, so that means the first zealots will come out near identical periods. It is ELFI's game now to really win. He's got to show superior micro and just great control.
Yeah, well, the first gateway's finishing for both players now. Immediate Zealot coming out here. Cybernetics core straight away going down, of course, for NightEnD. He wants to get that Mothership core up ASAP. Also, ideally wants to get a Stalker, but look at this. Double Chrono Boosted Zealots coming in from ELFI now. Still nothing inside the main. Are we going to see NightEnD perhaps send a single Zealot, if he can afford to, into the main base of ELFI here and try and disrupt the mineral line while this is going down? We see a probe and a Zealot versus... well, a single Zealot's in the mineral line now, but here comes the second one, and here's where things get dicey.
Already a little bit of lost mining time coming through. 2 Zealots up against 1 and a couple of probes. Definitely the advantage there, but there is now the Mothership core on its way out. That is going to be so beneficial to every trade that could be coming down. The Zealots still trying to fight 3 Zealots versus 2. It gets so tense here. 1 is about to go down. Great control at the moment coming down from ELFI here. Just showing that he is a very, very strong player. Still attacking absolutely perfectly. Knocks out all of the Zealots, but the Mothership core is now down. But look at the lost mining time, JoRoSaR.
All right.
That is the problem.
Now, NightEnD here, he could send all of his units and the next Zealot or 2 he sends out into the base of ELFI to try and disrupt the mineral line there and try and let the Mothership core clean up. Once he has Photon Overcharge, he might be able to do so and pick off more probes. I wonder if we're going to see any sort of counterattack here. We've seen that as a defense to Proxy 2 gates before. Yeah,
if you just go to kill your opponent, it can work very, very nicely. But yeah, as it stands, the Zealots are getting cleaned up. ELFI still committing just to more Zealots. We'll get a couple more probes. ELFI ahead, 14-7 probes, bear in mind. But he's got nothing back at home.
Yeah, he needs to... I honestly think NightEnD needs to start thinking about doing something offensive. If he continues just doing nothing but being defensive here, then he's going to eventually lose on the probe count. It's 7 workers versus 15 right now. And... while there is still nothing at home, if we take a quick look, I think a single... No, that's not a Zealot, just a probe being put back there, and now we have the Cybernetics core going down for ELFI. So now, I actually think that maybe ELFI's done enough damage. It's touch and go here, but look at that, 7 workers to 16.
And NightEnd's money has been really low throughout this. There's still these 2 gateways up, still getting more units on their way out. And back at home, as you said, ELFI does have the Cybernetics core on its way, trying just to buy himself as much time as possible, knowing he's done a good amount of damage. ELFI, all the while, has just been making more and more probes, which is what he really wants, trying to focus down that pylon ASAP. There is going to be at least 1 more Zealot coming out, maybe able to sneak a second one too, and the longer this goes on, the better it gets for ELFI.
Yeah, it does indeed, and it looks like 1 more Zealot's going to pop out. He might be able to kill the Zealot of NightEnD as well, but there we go. And the gateway's finally unpowered here. It's 15 supply versus 27 workers versus 18. 2 gateways are being reproduced inside the main base of ELFI here, and over double the worker supply means that really NightEnD... I mean, he didn't do any aggression during that, even sending a single Zealot across once the Mothership core was up, for example, and microing the probes a bit more. Might have got him in a couple of probe kills, but as it stands right now, Maddles, I mean, ELFI's just looking fine economically.
Yeah, all he's got to do is be able to squeeze out enough units in order to defend against these 3 Stalkers making their way forward. If he can do that, he should be okay. It will be quite tough for him, don't make any mistake of that. but there's got to be a chance. Now, I love the fact as well, ELFI bringing a probe down to his opponent's base. If he can sneak that in and repower these gateways, he's going to be in an amazing spot. Desperately trying to get a bit more. Another pylon down, but there is a massive Artosis pylon there. Oh, no. That could be dangerous. So
it could indeed. And here comes a counterattack. We were talking about better late than never. I mean, the game is difficult at the moment, but definitely not a write-off by any stretch of the imagination for NightEnD. He's coming in, now picking off down to 13 workers, 12. Believe it or not, guys, NightEnD still behind in the worker count at this point, but ELFI having to defend against an awful lot of pressure. 3 gateways now, 2 stalkers versus 2, and it looks like he'll just about be able to hold on. And the worker count, believe it or not, Maddles, is now even.
It is, but there's 3 gates up for ELFI. ELFI also has managed to sneak a proxy pylon into his opponent's space. Remember, he's got 3 gateways to produce off. All he needs is to be able to get that warp gate tech down, and then he can go for a massive attack.
No way. That is anything but a sneak proxy pylon, Maddles. That's like the most obvious proxy I've ever seen. There is... If that ends up just winning ELFI this game, NightEnD is going to be kicking himself at the end of it.
Well, warp gate tech just a couple of seconds away. NightEnD
It's going to happen, isn't it?
He must have noticed. How could he not have noticed? Okay, the Mothership Core has now realized.
Is it too late? Are we going to see a round of warp? And here comes the Stalker desperately trying to come back. I think he might have just done enough. Literally another 5 seconds. And I think he could have been in a serious amount of trouble, but NightEnD noticing just in the nick of time. And for the first time in a while in this game, NightEnD has taken the supply lead.
Yeah, but the worker count is still equal. And remember just how long ELFI was ahead in terms of that. He's also got his Twilight Council coming out, so he is transitioning into Blink. What's really important for ELFI now is that he conserves these units for as long as possible, doesn't allow them to die to just a group of Stalkers. He's got to run them out very carefully, very safely. NightEnD now, he's going up to that robotics facility, plus that 3rd gate, so he's behind in production. But yeah, oh, it's a Dark Shrine coming down from ELFI.
Really smart. Really smart from NightEnD to get that robotics facility preemptively there. And, well, I'm no longer 100% sure about this Dark Shrine play. I honestly thought that if, because he knows he's ahead on tech, that ELFI might have just continued to go up for Blink here, but obviously going to be resting his chances on that Dark Shrine. I just don't know how well this is going to work out for him, especially if NightEnD gets those Stalkers into the base and scouts it. ELFI just holding him off there.
Now, this is so important, the fact that this robotic facility is down, because that means an observer can get made, and that Dark Shrine not going to be too effective. This is a huge problem now for ELFI. Although he does have a proxy pylon coming down, he can still morph in Archons, remember, and they are in no way, shape or form shabby in any engagement.
This is, I'm going to be honest, this game started in a very exciting manner, and for a while it looked like ELFI had done enough to win the game, but NightEnD holding on like an absolute champ right now. Mothership Core an awful lot of energy as well. He looks like he is possibly preparing to take a natural, but has to be very, very careful. We see observers moving out from across the field, and spots the Dark Templars warping in, plenty of time to react.
Now, even though there's plenty of time to react, these DTs are still going to aid in all of the pushes. There is a small period of time where Force Sword is going to have to go down just to block out these DTs, but will it be in time? No, it won't. The DTs managed to make it up,
Sorry,
but there is an observer coming up.
Yeah, it's okay. He started the second observer straight away, immediate photon overcharge, and guess what, mate? Absolutely no chance. Both DTs go down. That was a fantastic hold by NightEnD. Great reactions on getting the second observer up. Very easy to miss that if you're just busy getting your units back into your base. And all of a sudden, ELFI not looking so hot.
No, he really isn't. He does have another DT into the mix, because keeping one DT in your army can trick your opponent a little bit. It's even if you don't make Archons out of them, you can just come in and take a couple of swipes, and unless your opponent's paying a lot of attention and focuses him down, they can deal a huge amount of damage very quickly. But I think getting an Archon out would probably be the best move for ELFI at the moment. He's still looking pretty happy for the time being, and I'd say both these two very evenly matched. NightEnD is ahead by 6 army supply and 2, well, worker supply, but this game's still very, very close. But that could change.
That's a fantastic time warp there, and now NightEnD can kite back and pick off a couple more units. He can just simply retreat up to his main base and say, look, mate, you are not getting up here. There is nothing you can do about it. Why don't you go ahead and try? And, well, he certainly is. Great time warp once again on the Rev, and fantastic positioning from NightEnD as well. A couple of Zealots coming in to tank the damage at the front. Will the Archon be able to do enough damage? It doesn't look like a GG. And NightEnD Oh my goodness, wins game number 2 and ties up the series 1-all, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic job from him there, and he forces a game number 3 after that Proxy 2.